iPad, today's radio apps are brought to you by Carbonite. Backing up the files on your PC or Mac is safe and easy with Carbonite. For a free trial plus 2 free months with purchase, go to Carbonite.com. Offer code iPad today. So today, we're going to do something. We're going to go back in time.
Yeah, we are.
Our apps turn your $500 iPad into a transistor radio.
That's right. Because really, what would we be without radio? Not here.
I wouldn't exist without radio. I'd be dead.
You would just be a ball of fluff.
I'd probably be a
piece
preacher.
Of lint.
I'd be running the Crystal Cathedral into the ground. Because without radio, I wouldn't have anywhere to preach. It's how I started in college, and it's how I got into this whole business.
So today, our theme is dun 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 radio apps.
Radio apps.
So
isn't that silly that you think this is such a high-tech device?
I think in theory, people go radio apps. I don't know. Is it radio? You know, you think of terrestrial radio and all the other options that we have now, and it doesn't sound very sexy and cool.
Well, I think there's a lot of great stuff. And the thing is, now, until 4.2 comes out for the iPad, they're not as cool. You know, the fact that you can listen to radio apps on the iPhone and then do something else is really great. Right. You can't yet do that on the iPad, but any day now.
Yeah, 4.2. So a couple of radio apps and we've actually talked about them in kind of different contexts, just to go over. First one is Pandora. Pandora is one of my and Leo's absolute favorite apps. And this is, where is my stupid Pandora? God, I have so many apps now I have to actually use the search function. How about that? There it is. Is something, I mean, I've been using Pandora almost exclusively when I just need to do research on.
I love Pandora.
Just in my browser.
Pandora lets you enter artists that you like.
Yeah.
And make a station based on that. And then Pandora, we've interviewed Tim Westergren many times on Net at Night. He thought of Pandora after creating the Music Genome Project. Yeah. So
for example, if I were to create I like this group called Crystal Castles. They're kind of electronica.
Who doesn't?
And I know. Well, you probably don't. Crystal Castles. So I create a Crystal Castles radio station, and I'm almost guaranteed that the first song I'll hear will be a Crystal Castles song.
See? Yep.
But then from that point on, it'll give me similar types of artists based on kind of their algorithmic information.
That's the Genome Project there, because what they did is they got professional musicians to come in and categorize a whole bunch of music in terms of a bunch of different parameters and said, that's the genome. It's a singer, songwriter, acoustic, male vocals. Maybe those would be 3 of the attributes. And so if you like Crystal,
certain kinds of tempos, that gets added in there. Yeah. So if you like, so I listen to my first Crystal Castle song and I go, okay, this is awesome. The next song maybe is by a different artist. And let's say I like the artist. I can give it a thumbs up, and that way Pandora goes, okay, you like this next one. Right. Now we know even more about you.
Right. Or thumbs down, and it says, I won't play that again for a few months.
And you'll never hear it again.
Yeah.
Or you can just fast forward. Now, it's worth noting that the Pandora app on the iPad and the iPhone and the web service, it's all free. You can upgrade to an ad-free Pandora. I haven't. The ads don't bother me. I actually hear a lot of Meg Whitman ads in my Pandora station.
She's got a ton of money. That's why she's running for governor of California. She's former CEO of eBay, and she's spent, I think, almost $200 million now.
Yeah,
on her campaign of her money.
The first Meg Whitman ad I heard in my Pandora station, I was like, well, this is odd. But then I thought, well, no, she actually probably knows a little bit about internet marketing. But
this is, by the way, why I bought Pandora Pro, because I don't want any ads. And there's another reason: you get a higher quality stream.
Interesting.
And
I
listen to Pandora
something that you've
everywhere.
Noticed? Because I've never really had an issue with what it sounds like.
But I don't just play it back on my iPad. I play it back on my Sonos players. It's my music. It's my alarm clock. So I listen to Pandora at least once or twice a day. So to me, it's worth whatever it was. The $25 for the Pro a year is nothing.
Yeah, it's not anything horrible. I mean, it won't gouge you. But anyway, so you can go free or you can go pro.
Yep.
But the version that I use that I like, as long as you can deal with it out every once in a while, is free. It's a lot of fun. You discover new artists. I actually discovered Crystal Castles through Pandora because they came up in someone else's station. I think it was my Justice station. I went, I really like them. Now they're one of my favorite bands. Another app that we have talked about in the past.
Also free
is the NPR app. Now, I'm not going to go into NPR's content and how you may or may not feel about NPR, but it's a really good listening. Yes, it's a really good example of a radio app done well, because not only is it the shows that NPR is known for, but it's articles that go along with the shows. NPR employs a lot of really smart producers and writers as well. So you can read a little bit more about, I don't know, this cholera vaccine that's in one of the news programs, for example. So NPR does a really nice job of kind of making it a multimedia experience while also being a streaming radio station.
So you can read as well as listen. I also like the fact that you can build it. NPR has shows like All Things Considered in the afternoon, morning edition in the morning. And normally you'd listen to the sequence of stories on the radio, but you can build your own All Things Considered or your own morning edition or your own show by taking segments from all the shows, stitching them together, making a playlist, and then listen in your car or at home.
Exactly.
So
I mean,
it's a nice app.
I love Fresh Air, but I don't necessarily want to listen to Fresh Air at 7 p.m.
Right. So
I can
listen
to it
whenever
I
you
want.
Yeah.
Wait, Don't Tell Me is also like the
Oh,
best
what a great show
ever.
Yeah.
If you like kind of fun trivia, ridiculous shows,
Now,
that's a show for you.
One show that's not on there is This American Life because it's not NPR. It's on public radio, but it's
Chicago.
It's APR or something.
Yeah.
So, but you can listen to that on the internet as well. But but just not through this app. This app is NPR stuff only.
It's NPR stuff only. Another thing to note: if you have tried the NPR app in the past, it's one of the first ones. It's been out since April. They recently updated it to fix a lot of bug crashes that people were complaining about. Certain shows, it would just crash the whole thing. Very annoying. So if you're one of those people who are like, NPR app seems great, but it doesn't really work for me, give it another try. It's free. It's been updated recently. So I thought it was worth a mention.
So you did the freebies, but I'm going to do the paid apps. Now,
I'm a cheapskate.
Well, there's 27,000 or something internet radio stations, probably many, 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 many more than that, hundreds of thousands, because every station in the world nowadays, terrestrial radio stations.
We got 12 radio stations right here.
Yeah, streams on the internet.
Yeah.
And then there are people like us, we stream. So there are a lot of internet radio applications. Unfortunately, they're not cheap. I asked the chat room, I originally was going to show you something called Internet Tuner Radio. Or Tuner Internet Radio, which has been around a long time. It's about $5.
Yeah.
And everybody in the chat room said, no, there's a better choice now. It's called Pocket Tunes. And after I launched it, I said, you know what, this is better. Now, it's not cheap. It's $7. And it is a universal. You see, it says your phone, your music. Well, it's also your iPad, your music. It uses the full iPad screen.
Well, for $7, I hope it's great.
Well, it has some features that I haven't seen before. For instance, you can listen to a broad variety of internet shows. Whoops, and if it doesn't crash on you, a broad variety of internet shows, but you can also record if you're hearing something you like and play it back later. It allows you to search for podcasts, and when it doesn't, you know what? I think it's crashing on me. I'm going to have to reboot.
Pocket Tunes.
Here's a little tip.
You nut.
Here's a little tip for those of you with an iPad.
What happens when things crash
when
live
things
on
crash, on your iPad, I found if you turn the iPad off, so you press and hold the start key, the top button over here, and you just turn it off, and then you turn it back on again. It seems like it cleans out the memory or something like that, and programs that have crashed for me in the past will then launch.
Not unlike what you might do
It's a reboot.
on a computer.
It's a reset.
Yeah, or a browser. Speaking of browsers, my Chrome browser's been really weird lately.
This is completely unrelated to anything.
It is, yeah. But since we're talking about crashing,
and notice how fast.
get your act together, Chrome.
This boots pretty fast, so it's not like it's it's a big. Actually, I turned it off again by accident, so it's now booting again.
So you discovered Pocket Tunes
Radio, and then
about half an hour before the show.
And I like it. It has a lot of nice features. You can search for podcasts. You can record music. You can play a variety of other music. I'll tell you one more. We mentioned Tuner Internet Radio, which has been around a long time. And finally, there's another free one that I have to plug. It's an iPhone app, but it plays just fine on the iPad, even though you zoom it open. And it's called iHeartRadio. And the reason I have to mention it is because it's a Clear Channel product, and I'm on it. It's a good way to listen. I imagine the other radio streaming programs also have my shows on it. But iHeartRadio is designed by the people who syndicate my show, and it has some nice features, and it is free, by the way. However, you'll find because it's Clear Channel, it is a little bit more limited. You can find all the local stations in your area, and this is an example. This is San Francisco.
103.7 The Band is one of my favorites.
And then notice they've started to kind of do the Pandora Last FM thing. They've got their own internet-only shows like Eagles Radio, Dream Radio, Country Road. So they've mixed it up. You can have favorites, and I like this feature. It's called Shake It. So because there are so many stations on this,
you get overwhelmed.
I'll press the Shake It button, and now it's going to randomly pick a station and a format.
Well, that's fun.
Rock, this is 106.7 KBPI in Denver, Colorado, and now suddenly I'm playing a rock station from Denver, Colorado.
What is it?
It's rocking. Now look at this. This is a nice feature. When you see what it's playing, it's going to take a little while for me to get the information. It will tell you what the song is. This is something radio doesn't do that I really like. You could.
Hand That Feeds.
106.7 KBPI. Dan here. Second to last day of Hand That Feeds at X Saloon, Hampton and Kipling in Lakewood. And,
I love local. You know, it's fun to listen to local radio and what's going on in local radio.
We got a party in Lakewood, everybody, on Saturday at 5. Hope you'll be there. Tickets available.
I think that's a lot of fun. Let me do another shake here because I want to get a station that's playing music because it'll pull up the lyrics too, which I think is kind of fun. So if I can find a station, this is Harris. We're now gone to News Talk. Well, that's not going to work. In Harrisonburg. Let's do another one. This is kind of fun. Tucson, Arizona. Classic hits. Let's play Cool 1450.
It's like closing my eyes and throwing something at the radio and just seeing what.
And now we're hearing the
comes up.
Drifters. There Goes My Baby. Let's see if we can pull up the lyrics for that.
Cool 1450.
Now, see there. Now we're hearing ads.
Good times.
It's fun though, isn't it? There's still somebody in a talking like that doing the radio show. I guess this guy learned from the oldies but goodies that you could talk like this. You could have a job in radio someday.
Coming up next, the Drifters.
Good times,
There goes
great
my
oldies.
baby.
On Cool 1450 AM. That's
You're
AM
very
radio.
good.
Yeah, that's AM radio.
You're a good
it's funny.
oldies.
Cheeseball. When I
DJ.
started in AM radio, they said you sound too FM because right now the way I'm talking now, that sounds FM. They say, oh no, you got to learn to talk like this. Otherwise, we're not going to let you work
I don't
in radio.
know that I would like the AM Leo. I prefer FM
Oh, you'd
Leo.
love the AM Leo because the AM Leo is full of energy, full of excitement. Everything's exciting on AM radio.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Right now, we're listening to the Drifters. There Goes My Baby. No, wait a minute. That's not what we're listening to. Oh, that is what we're listening to. Let's just see if we can get the lyrics of There Goes My Baby. I guess you can't always do it. Anyway.
Maybe they don't have lyrics. They're just making it up as they went along.
The lyrics are simple.
Recorded.
There goes my baby. There goes my baby. There goes my baby. Let's see if I can launch this now. Pocket Tunes. Anyway,
Pocket
there's a few
Tunes
great things for you. I think Pandora is a must-have. It's free. Everybody should have that. There's a similar program, Last FM, also great.
I've kind of forgotten about Last FM lately. It's funny.
Wonderful.
We go through radio apps and it never even came up. I feel a little bit silly about that.
Well, let's just mention it.
Because I like Pandora so much. Yeah, Last FM also.
But if you're listening to, let's say, the World Series and you are in San Francisco, but you would like to hear the Dallas station, this is
who
where
would do something like that to themselves?
Nutball would do that.
Yeah.
You could buy MLB. And by the way, I have to correct myself because I gave a price for Major League Baseball's.
It was
at
$5.
that radio.
They've cranked it up.
Well, it was $5 because it was the end of the season. It'll be back to its $20 at the beginning of next season, but you can get the postseason for $5.
Yeah,
and you can also buy video for cheap. I think it's $5. So you could listen to both stations on MLB's At Bat 2010, but you can also use these applications to find those stations. And
it would
listen.
be. I mean, when they go and play at over in Rangers territory, I would like to hear my San Francisco announcers
Well, you
tell me
will.
about the game.
I'll tell you what.
So they're, it goes
Okay,
both
I got an
ways.
assignment for somebody because I think the Fox announcers
Homework time.
are so terrible. I can't stand listening to the TV
They
announcers.
get things wrong.
They're just morons.
They'll say, the inning's over. It's like, no, it isn't.
Yeah.
The inning is not over.
I'm not going to name names, but Tim McCarver, just terrible. Anyway, I happen to like Kruk and Kipe, our local play-by-play guys from KNBR, where I used to work for many years. And so what I'd like to do is put on, and I did this, I put on my iPad, I put Kruk and Kipe.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is TV is delayed. So Kruk and Kipe say, it's a home run, and you're seeing pitch, ball 3. And it's and
How delayed are we talking, though? I thought it was only like
about 5 seconds.
Well, yeah.
6 seconds. So if somebody could show me a way to delay radio,
That would be nice.
because I can't speed up the TV, I don't believe. But if I could delay the radio, that'd be great.
You know what my mom does?
What?
She's a huge baseball fan, bigger than probably all of us combined, and she can't stand any television announcers at all.
Yeah.
She's a radio person. She stands in her kitchen, looking out the window, listening to the radio, and when something happens, she runs into the living room and watches it on TV.
Radio
And she
baseball.
doesn't watch it otherwise
she's
until
smart.
there's something to watch because she likes to let her imagination run wild. It's very weird.
You
It's
might
a
want to
weird
listen to the
thing.
Miami radio station when LeBron James is playing. It's fun to hear the local stations, I think, sometimes for these big national things. So
Well, you like the announcers that are excited, and it just kind of helps the
I
whole
don't know
mood.
what the Dallas station is for Rangers baseball.
Loser 109. Sorry.
One more app.
I'm a bad.
One more
it's
app.
the World Series. Come on.
Can I mention one more app because
Yeah.
it's sitting right in the middle here?
Yes.
And it's the great Shift Key software. Craig Mullaney wrote this. and deserves a lot of credit. It's our own Twit app. You can listen to Twit, absolutely. In fact, this is going to be a little meta, but we're going to actually listen to ourselves talking about it. There's an audio-only button. There's video.
Controls.
Who's that kid?
Wait a minute.
Said, you know
What's that?
I'm confused.
Me too.
Why is Tech News
You
Today...
look so young.
Did I press a button wrong somewhere? Have we not been on the air all this time?
No, we are. You can tell by the. You can
That's
tell
bizarre.
in the chat room.
Ustream's launching something else.
KRLD in Dallas.
KRLD.
I am
Thank you.
sorry, Dallas fans. I was only kidding.
Listen,
No, we are. You can tell by the. You can
that's
tell
bizarre.
in the chat room.
Now it's us listening to Tech News Today.
Hi, past Sarah. It's gonna be okay.
So this is it's a 99-cent app, and I highly recommend it.
It's great. I mean, if you like Twit and you're watching a live stream,
you can
get
see us all the
app.
time. You can watch us all
Yeah.
the time. You can chat while you're listening. And as soon as 4.2 comes out, Craig's all ready for 4.2. It already works on the iPhone.
Woot.
You'll be able to listen to the shows and do something else while you're doing that.
Of course, for all the links to the apps we just mentioned, you can always visit us at iPad Today, and the URL is twit.tv/IPT. You can also watch our past episodes from that very same place, and you can subscribe to future episodes. It's a great place. We've got 17 shows, including this one. So we've been on for a lifetime, really, in internet
Feels
speak.
like it, just this show alone.
And, it's a good show. What else am I going to say? It's our show, and we love it, and we hope you love it, too. Quick reminder that we do record iPad Today live. If you're not watching live, today we recorded
off
at
schedule.
a weird time because we and Windows Weekly swapped. But usually it's 1:30 p.m. Pacific time or thereabouts. We tend
4:30
to
Eastern.
run a little bit late. because
2030
we're tardy
UTC.
folks. Yeah.
Live.twit.tv every Thursday. We don't do it every day, just every Thursday.
Every Thursday. It's a weekly show.
This portion of iPad Today brought to you by our friends at Carbonite.com. It's backup done right. If you're backing up to an external drive, good. Keep doing that. I'm not saying stop, or burning DVDs, or even copying your important files to a USB key. That's great. But what if the worst happens? Somebody breaks in and steals everything, including your backup, or maybe there's a fire or flood and it's all gone.
Yikes.
You got to have a third kind of backup. That's one that is off-site. And the best way to do it is a Carbonite off to the cloud. Carbonite's automatic, so as soon as you install it, it starts backing up whenever you're online without slowing your system down, without using internet access that you're using. It waits. It's very smart. Waits till you're not using it, then it trickles up your files. First time you use Carbonite, it'll take a little while to get all those files, but you can store gigabytes up there. In fact, for $55 a year, that's less than 15 cents a day, you could back up all the files, all the personal files on your internal hard drive, regardless of size. I mean, that could literally be a terabyte or two. It's an amazing service. Automatic, to the cloud, and here's the best part. You can get those files back anytime. Just log into your Carbonite account on any computer. And there's your files. They even have an iPhone app, which works just fine on the iPad. In fact, this is a great way to get your files to the iPad. Just log onto your Carbonite account on the iPad, and there's your stuff.
Peace of mind.
Yeah, and the BlackBerry app, too. Carbonite.com. I want you to try it free for 2 weeks. I do encourage everybody to try all of our sponsors free. They all have free deals, and it's really good to do that if you can, because it'll give you a sense of how this works for you, whether it's right for you. I think it is, and you're going to like it. But use the offer code iPad today to try it free for 2 weeks. Carbonite.com, iPad Today. If you decide to buy, also use iPad Today. You'll get 2 months free. Carbonite.com. You got to back it up to get it back, so do it right with Carbonite.
With Carbonite.